Hi everyone, it's Shari Carroll for SimonsSaysStamp.com, and I have a color coordinates recipe for you that I am titling A Walk on the Beach. These colors remind me of when I was a kid. We lived at the beach and we used to find all sorts of sea glass and kelp and balsa wood. So I put this combination together for you, and the colors include 5 of our Simon Says Stamp inks. And those are Lakeshore, Cloudy Sky, Catkin, Fossil, and Spring Rain. The stamps I'll be using for my card are called Blooming Day, and they have really nice bold flower designs that are kind of tropical looking, and they're also solid, which will show off my ink colors. I have a panel of cardstock here. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm using a piece of masking tape. It's like post-it note tape, and I'm just masking off this one area. I'll be adding a message to this area and I'll be trimming this panel up, but that's a great guide to help me in my placement for my flowers. So I'm starting off with one of the boldest flowers first, and I'll go ahead and get into the Spring Rain ink, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp this off first onto my grid pattern paper here just to get that seasoned a little bit, and then I'll re-ink and go ahead and stamp it onto my panel. I'll be using a different image for each ink color, so in between I'll go ahead and switch to another stamp and another ink. And again, I'll go ahead and ink this up and stamp it onto my grid paper here just to get it seasoned a little bit. And this one is called Spring Rain. It has a little less of that green color look, but it's still in a light tone. So now I'm switching to a more flower-shaped flower, and I'm dipping into the Lakeshore's color, and this is a little bit more muted than the Spring Rain and has a little bit more blue. So I'm going to go ahead and overlap this and go ahead and stamp it right onto that panel. All of these colors that I've chosen can be overlapped with one another. They won't appear muddy. So I'm going to go ahead and add another little flower towards the bottom, and then I'll switch out my stamp for one of the leaves. The next color that I'm choosing for the leaves is the Catkin, and it's such a unique color. It's not quite a yellow, it's not quite a green, it's just in between. So it's a really nice complement to this color combination. I'll be using the same leaf impression for all of the greens on this, and I'm just going to go ahead and change direction of my stamp and continue to add it either above or below those flowers. The final color that I'm adding in with a really small flower is the Fossil, and this is a really light beige color. Reminds me of balsa wood that you would find on the beach, so that just gives it a little bit more complement and completes the arrangement. I'm grabbing another small flower from the stamp set, and I'm adding in a little bit more of the Spring Rain to fill in and complete my pattern. And once I have my stamping done, I can go ahead and remove my post-it note tape. The next thing I want to do is to go ahead and use my trimmer and trim up my panel here. And I'm just cutting this off just at the edge of that stamping, and this will give me a nice clean edge. So once I have that lined up, I can go ahead and use my tonic trimmer here and trim those pieces up. I've mounted my panel pieces onto a top folding note card, and I've used a little bit of fun foam just to lift those up so that has a little bit of dimension. And the next thing I want to do is get ready for my message die, and this is the Friends die from Simon Says Stamp. I have some Nina White cardstock here and a blending tool, and I'm going to go ahead and start to color my cardstock first before I die cut. I'm not really worried about any of the marks from the blending tool. I'm going directly from the ink pad to the blending tool right to the paper. When I go to die cut this, you won't really be seeing those marks on the paper as much because it's words and it's cutting out the letters. So I just want to get some general color on here, and also to make sure that I have the right size. So I'll go ahead and put my die down and go ahead and determine if I need more color or not. At this point, I have run my colored paper and my friend die through the die cut machine, and right now I'm just adding in a little bit of color to some of the edges of the words. Once I'm finished doing my coloring, I can add a little bit of foam tape to the back of the friend die cut and place it onto my card. Here's a look at how the finished card came out. I really do like the Catkin as one of the main colors in the card, and also with all those blues and also that light fossil color. This card design is also a really nice way to feature a die cut word and to have a really nice arrangement of flowers. I hope I've given you some inspiration to use this combination of colors. Remember to check down in the description box below for a link to our blog post, which will have this recipe card. And as always, thanks for watching.